Hello YouTubers, it's Championdjk coming at you again with another weekly video, and as usual I got some stuff to share with you. Didn't get a whole lot of stuff this week, but I found a super. Yes, I found a super treasure hunt in the wild. Crazy. Used to find these all the time. But in the last couple of years, of course, my hunting has died down, and I haven't been finding much in store, but I found a super, and I found the super that I wanted. I actually found this today. Today is Thursday, by the way. You'll see this video on Saturday. As usual, I'm filming Thursday night. Posting on Saturdays is typically what I do. Sweet. One of the corners is totally wrecked and the blister's falling off, but who cares because I'm going to open it up anyway. So, very, very awesome. I am stoked that I found this. It was really cool. I didn't think I was going to find it as I was digging through the pegs. It looked like everything was there for the H case, but I'm like, I'm not finding it. I got to the bottom row of the pegs, and I looked in, and like this was like the third car in, and I had to take a double take as to whether it was a regular or not. And so, super stoked to have found this. We're going to go ahead and open it up in the second segment. And my Mercury Cougar collection is complete. Well, sort of complete. I guess there's a variation on the regular one with either dark or bright orange flames. It looks like this has bright orange flames on the super, but my regular one has kind of the more darker ones, I think. Anyway, we'll have to, we'll take a look at that in the second segment. We'll take a look at that one alongside the regular. All right, so, and then two other VWs I picked up today that I didn't already have. I picked up some other H case cars, but I've already shown them in other videos. So I picked up a couple extra McLaren Sennas, just because maybe someday I'll make a custom again of those. I picked up some of those Camry Skylines, like police livery ones, and then I picked up these two VWs because I had missed them the first time around when I saw this case. So I picked up those. So I'm excited about that. Let's see here. So that was my in-store find, and then the rest of the stuff is mail, including this guy right here, Mach 1. Shout out to Fordsman84 at Fordsman84 on Instagram. Wade, he does videos on YouTube as well. If you haven't seen him, usually really, really short in-store videos where he finds stuff. This is from Premium 2018 Premium Release 2, and it makes my release of this current, which is fantastic. So now I can do a video showing all of 2018 Premium Release 2. I am going to open this, however. We are going to open this in the second segment. Reason being, I've got a lot of that series that is unopened, and those series videos get really long if I'm opening every car in the series. So we're going to go ahead and open this one. That Mustang. Stoked about that. And I'll probably, I don't need to really bring out the two regulars, do I? But we're going to go ahead and open that one for sure. All right, next bit of mail I got from fellow YouTuber, Heavy Metal 164. And it is a Tomica Limited Vintage Ferrari Dino. It is one of the Dinos. It's one of the two Dinos. This is the one that's the hardtop, which is what, the 246 GT Type M. Anyway, so this guy, we're going to go ahead and open up this box, and I'll show it in the second segment of the video. I'm sure you've got kind of an overload of Tomica Limited Vintage Ferraris. They've kind of been posted everywhere lately as people were getting them. I did not pre-order this one or the other one, or the other Dino, so I missed out on those, and I should have grabbed them when I could get them for that cheap a price. They were like almost half price, and but Travis hooked me up with a good deal on one of his. So he had one of this, and he kept the other one and spared this one to me, which was very, very awesome. Thank you. All right, so there's that, and then in other mail, I got two pieces of mail from one of my favorite eBayers from Japan. And so, of course, you guessed it, two Kyoshos. We've got a 911 GT2 RS in silver. And, of course, we'll pull that off of the base and take a close look at it in the second segment of this video, so stay tuned. And I got Alpha Romeo 155. I picked this up just because it was on a buy it now price and it was really, really cheap. It's in black and it looks, I don't know, pretty awesome. It's a really cool, just little civilian model car, nothing too sporty. I just thought it looked good, so I picked it up. So, Alfa Romeo. And of course, we'll check both of these cars out in detail in the second half of the video. And then I got some mail that was from a Facebook group that I'm in. There's a lot of cool Facebook groups, by the way. I kind of neglected to start a Facebook or start getting involved in Diecast on Facebook for the longest time, and now I am involved, and I realize there's a lot out there. I mean, there's a ton of selling groups on Facebook, including I have one of my own, Championdjk's used little car lot. So check that out. I haven't been posting too much crazy stuff on there, but eventually that will heat up and I'll start posting some of the stuff from my collection that I'm getting rid of and stuff like that. I'll just kind of post it to that page. It's an easy, centralized place to start selling. But anyway, there's a lot of selling pages on Facebook, and they're pretty cool. So this is one, they let you build boxes and stuff. This one makes you pay as you go. It's SK's Diecast, I think this one was. So I picked up this, and sometimes you can get really good deals. I picked up this little Beetle. This is a Beetle from the Hot Wheels Convertibles series, which I still don't know what this is. This is the second one of these I have. This one's in absolute like dead mint condition, and I still am not 100% certain on what this is all about. It looks like it's a color shifter of some sort. The thing I don't get about it is there's some coil inside of here and this weird pop-up motor. I don't understand it. We'll take a closer look at it in the second half of the video, and maybe we can figure it out together. All right, and then another thing that was in the box was this right here. Funny thing is I already have this. It's still packaged. I have not opened it yet. So one of these, hopefully Dustin, you'll dig this. I'm going to put this in the box of stuff I have aside for you. I know you like Corvettes, so I will definitely do that. Dust Kingpin, at Dust Kingpin on Instagram. Follow him. Got an amazing Corvette collection. It's absolutely crazy. So anyway, I hope you don't have that. It's nothing big, but I'm gonna throw that in your box. And then I picked up. There's one green light here. This is a 1968 Plymouth Roadrunner from the Speed Pinks series. These came out, looks like 2007-ish. It is a green post green light, so it's an older green light. And I just thought it looked really cool, so I snagged this one. This will probably end up in a 10 Car Tuesday, like most of this stuff does. So that'll probably end up there. Yeah, definitely. And then these will also probably end up in 10 Car Tuesdays. We won't look at them in the second half of this video, but they're pretty cool to look at anyway. 1969 Pontiac GTO from the High Performance Pontiac series. That actually looks really good. That looks fantastic. RC2 Era Johnny Lightning from 2005, it looks like. Very cool. 1973 Pontiac Grand Am. I love that casting. In red. Didn't have it. Got a couple other versions of this one. Poncho Power Series. Very cool. That one's even older probably. This one is from, maybe not, 2006, 2007. And then this one here is the 69 Pontiac Firebird 400 convertible in yellow in the Muscle Cars series. This is from 2007. Clamshell package Firebird. So, got those items from that Facebook seller. And then I also got a pretty awesome piece of mail, which you're going to see in a future video, but I guess I can kind of preview it right now. I don't know if you watched it. It's underneath the table here. So I don't know if you watched my video on the most economical Hot Wheels display, ? Anyway, it's one of my most popular videos that I've ever put out on YouTube. It's about mass car displays. which now has since given me a promo code and has become kind of a sponsor of the channel. So if you go to www.mascardisplays.com and you put in the promo code Champion, you will get 10% off your purchase, and you will be supporting my channel. So that being said, he sent me a sample of their most recent style of case. It is clear, and it is here. Won't go into this in detail right now, but it is very cool. It's clear. You can put different backings behind it, and it's a very cool economical way to display Hot Wheels and other die casts, because the slots on these that fit cars are very large, and they fit a lot of large castings, including large Cadillacs from Auto World. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right, so they're clear, which is pretty cool. In addition to getting this sample case, I did actually get 5 more cases, 5 more MASCAR display cases that are going to go up on my wall over here to my right. You can see up in the corner here, there is one displayed, that white one right there. So I got 5 more white ones that are going to on this wall. There's a bunch of peg hook stuff over here. I'm not going to move the camera, but there's a bunch of peg hook stuff over here. It's all going to come down. So like the next 10 Car Tuesday episodes are going to be me probably opening all that stuff to my right over here. Because I need to get it open, I need to get it loose, and I need to get it displayed on the wall. So all this peg hook stuff is coming down. Not a carded collector, don't need room for a bunch of peg hooks. Keeping the pegboard up just because it'll be an easy way to mount the cases instead of mounting them in a drywall, even though drywall would be completely fine for this type of case, which I'll explain that more in the actual video where I review the case. But yeah, so anyway, the room is going to come together. I figured out I'm going to have over 2,000 cars on the wall. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So yeah, it's ridiculous, I know. But I don't know. I have a hard time getting rid of some stuff. And of course, it's going to accumulate. So, all right. So yeah, we're going to have lots of loose car displays. Lots of loose car display cases. And now that I'm thinking about the calculation, I totally forgot to even include my Hot Wheels display cases over here in that calculation. So you can add about another 100 cars to that. All right, so that's going to be it for this segment. Let's go ahead and flip it around. Let's take a look at some cool die-cast over here. And yeah, I super stoked about that. All right, so stay tuned. All right, so let's start this second segment by taking a look at this oddball VW Bug from Hot Wheels from the Hot Wheels Convertibles series, which looks like it came out around the 80s, late 80s, early 90s maybe. So anyway, I did Google this thing during the break and came up with the fact that it says it changes water and shape. Changes color and shape in the water. So it is like a color shifter, so this would change color. I'm guessing by the looks of it, it looks like it almost would change from a brown to a yellow. And then more interestingly, this motor would also pop up in water. Okay, I don't know why or how mechanically that occurs. There is some weird coil thing here on the base. So if somebody knows, let me know, or I suppose I could probably do some more research and actually find out. But pretty interesting indeed. So this one has a plastic base. It is a metal body. It's got the blacked out windows, or silvered out windows, I guess, to hide the mechanical features of the internals. But it is a cool little VW Bug. Pretty awesome. And glad to add a mint one to my collection. I think the other one I have, I'll have to dig it out, is pretty close to mint too. And maybe I'll have to do some sort of, I don't know, demonstration video on how these exactly function. Just interesting to me, so maybe it's interesting to you. I think it's pretty cool. All right, so next, here you go. Here is the regular Mercury Cougar Eliminator. This is the one with the matte yellow flames, and apparently there is a variation with gloss or brighter orange flamage. This was alerted to me by King_Diecast on Instagram. Of course, check him out if you don't know who he is on Instagram. He has a fantastic Instagram page. It's just a great one to have or to look at. So a good one to follow there. So definitely if you're on Instagram, check him out. Pretty awesome. I think he's done a couple of videos on YouTube as well, but doesn't post very often. But he should. You should, buddy. But yeah, anyway. Very cool dude. Inform me of those. The variation of the flames. I am, though, super stoked right now to, of course, have the Super Treasure Hunt in my possession, and I was actually able to find this one, which is just absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead, without further ado, let's finish this one off. It's already begging to be opened. And there she is. So this, of course, is one that I was very, very excited to get, and I really wanted it. When I saw that it was coming out, I was like, oh, that is sweet. That's a must-have. It is a casting I collect, and it's always cool when a casting you collect gets a special release or a super. Sometimes it's bittersweet because then it's another one you got to get. But in the case of it getting a Super Treasure Hunt, I think this casting is really cool, and I think it deserved a super, and I think this super looks really super. So you got brighter orange flames. You got nice choice in Real Rider wheels. Of course, the only difference other than that in the tampo is the TH in the back there. And it's really cool. This one's got a little bit of the weirdness going on with it because it does have a bit of the tampo right here in the edge of the wheel well, which is kind of weird. It's only on the one side, but doesn't really affect the look of the casting too much. It's just kind of a weird little, I guess, error, as you would call it. The Spectraflame green paint on this looks absolutely fantastic, and this is just a very welcome addition to my Super Treasure Hunt collection, which I don't go after all the supers every year. I'm not a completionist in that regard to Super Treasure Hunts. I really only try to get the ones I really like. Of course, if I find them in the wild and it's even remotely a cool car, I'll likely keep it. At least most likely keep it. There have been some I've traded away that I did not keep in favor of like Ultra Reds and stuff like that. But this one, that's definitely staying in the collection. So fantastic, and now I am caught up with Mercury Cougar Eliminators. That's a beauty. Seriously a beauty. All right, so sticking with Hot Wheels for just a moment, we're just going to take a quick look at a couple main lines. We got the two VWs here, the custom Volkswagen Beetle. They've already come up with this in one other color that looks weathered. It's like a red with some weathering on it. This one I think looks a lot better. It's like a primer color with some blue, some brown. I think it actually looks better than the first release of this year. Pretty awesome. So those of you who did not know, this is a newer tooling of this casting that does not have the metal base and has an added roof rack. I still like the older version of it a lot better, but this does look good too, so can't really complain. So there's that. And then just very simply, the Volkswagen Golf Mark II. In dark blue. This already came out, I believe, in like a more tealish green color in the beginning of the year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Got 1552 wheels there, KW. I like this casting. I think it's a good looking one from Hot Wheels for a mainline. It's a pretty good looking Golf, so I dig it. So those are two mainline cars we're going to take a look at. Let's see here. Let's take a look at this Ultra Red, and then we'll get into some premium stuff. More premium stuff. This is still premium, but of course, Auto World, my favorite brand to collect. 1972 Ford Mustang Mach 1. I should say my favorite domestic brand to collect. Because you guys obviously, if you watch my channel, you know I've been really getting into like Kyosho and now Tomica Limited Vintage and Shuko and all sorts of other fun brands that aren't really sold here specifically in the U.S. Although rumor has it Kyosho is going to start being sold in the U.S. I don't think you're ever going to find them in stores, but at least they're going to U.S. hobby dealers. They're becoming more accessible to those types, so they might start being a little bit easier to get and get shipped domestically. This car is beautiful. Really glad to have it. The Mustang Mach 1, of course, is one of my favorite toolings from Auto World, and this one is fantastic in spite of the red wheels, which you guys know I'm not a huge fan that they did that with the red wheels. But I still got to get them all, and this completes my set for 2018 Premium Release 2, and it is a beautiful car. So this one, the traits here, and this goes across the whole series, by the way, and we'll talk about it more when I actually do the video, but so it's got ultra red body, it's got red tires, and this series also had, all the cars in it had an ultra red interior. So the interior plastic is actually painted the same ultra red color. So just a little interesting fact, because there's a hobby exclusive ultra red Mustang Mach 1 that looks just like this, except it's the hobby exclusive one, and that one has a white interior. It still has the red wheels, red body, but a white interior. So, that being said, too, I've got 2 more Ultra Red Mustang Mach 1s that are eventually going to come to me here in the next couple weeks, next week or so. And then it will complete my Mach 1 series, and I'll have all the Mach 1s. I'll have all the regulars, all the Ultra Reds, and I even have 1 Ultra Raw of a Mustang Mach 1. So, I'm kind of stoked to complete that set. The hardest one to find is the Premium Series 3, just Premium Series 3, not a year attached to it, which is one of the most difficult series of Auto World to acquire. I've got that one coming to me, and I got it at a steal of a price, so can't wait. All right, so there's that, and then might as well take a look at this. Actually, let's save the Dino for last. Let's take a look at the Kyoshos real quick, just because you guys probably, if you don't want to hang around for it, and you've seen the Dinos already, you don't have to. This is the Porsche 911 GT2 RS. Kyosho. Of course, we need to remove it from the base, which is done very easily with a single screw. This one's sweet. I kind of passed this one up a couple of times, oddly enough, and I'm a Porsche fan. For some reason, Kyoshos, though, I don't get a lot of Porsche Kyoshos. I've generally been gravitating towards getting Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and oddly enough, like Alfa Romeos and Maseratis and stuff. But this is really sweet. I am glad I got it. So GT2 RS. It's got, so this is carbon fiber, right? Or a carbon fiber look. And that's actually to scale, a lot more to scale than you would see normally on a like faux carbon fiber paint job kind of deal on a Diecast 1/64 scale car. Like, you can barely see any weave action in there, but you can see it. It is there, and that's probably way more to scale than I've seen any other car do it. Really cool. Of course, lens detail on the front. We got side mirrors. We got really cool wheels and tires. We've got lens detail on the back. In standard Kyosho fashion, the base is plastic. It is riveted together. This one is a roller. They're not all rollers, but this one is. And just a great example of that Porsche. And I am very happy to have that. It is a very beautiful looking car. It'd be a really nice car to take pictures of. It would look really good, and there's definitely, this car is one of the ones that you could get to look like a real automobile. The detail's there, and it just looks, I don't know, in person it looks fantastic. Hopefully that translates across the video here, but that is a really good looking Kyosho. All right, next let's take a look at this Alpha Romeo. Oh, maybe I should tell you this too, just real quick. So of course Kyosho comes with these little cards. These are the other colors you would have been able to get that Porsche in Porsche Series 4, Porsche Mini Car Collection 4. So there's a white one, a blue one, and the silver one. The only other one I would have liked to have be the white one. The blue one I don't really care for too much. Wouldn't really care for too much, but the silver one's definitely the ideal one for me to get. The white one is no slouch either. So there's that. And then Alfa Romeo, this weird 155 car. It's definitely an interesting one. Let's go ahead. And here's the colors this one would have been available in. It would be red, black, and blue. Again, the blue one I wouldn't have cared about. Blue cars, for some reason, I just don't really like. They don't... some of them do, okay? It's different colors blue, but this is like more of a darker standard blue color. I just am not a huge fan of it for cars for some reason. The red would have been cool because it's standard like Alfa Romeo color, but the black actually, you know, if I had any choice, the black one would be what I would have gotten anyway. So glad to have got it in black. I think it just looks better in black. Let's go ahead and unscrew it. Oh, we actually had one that's kind of difficult. That screws in there very tight. But there it goes. I don't know, man. This car's really cool. It's one of those things, and, you know, I've mentioned it about Tomica Limited Vintage before because they do a lot of cars that you just, on paper, don't excite me, or like, you know, when you're looking at them on Japan Booster or whatever, they do a lot of cars that just aren't very exciting, but then you get them in your hands and they're just super cool. Like, they're just really super cool. And this is kind of like one of those, I think, that like when I first saw it in the picture, I'm like, oh, it's cheap, it's Kyosho, but it looks like it could be pretty good. And you know, now I've kind of learned to just, go ahead and get it, because you're gonna like it. And this is just a car that I really like. It's basic. It's not a supercar. And I know I tend to gravitate towards supercars and stuff like that when I'm getting Kyoshos. But sometimes like these just like regular cars, they just look so good, and you could really do a lot of cool things with them photographically. You know, because you don't just go out and see a bunch of Lamborghinis and stuff. You see normal cars. So sometimes getting really good replicas of kind of more basic, normal, like four-door sedans turns out really cool, and you end up really enjoying them in your collection. So I think this is definitely going to be one of those. This one's got a lot of weight to it, too, for a Kyosho. But again, it's metal body. It's plastic base. It is riveted together. It's got rubber tires, prototypical wheels. You've got lens detail up front and in the back, and a lot of detail. I really like this. I really like this car, and I think black is definitely the correct choice for it. Red wouldn't be bad, because that's basically an Alfa Romeo color. But black looks fantastic. I really like it. What do you guys think about that one? I mean, honestly, if, you know, though, if someone were to say, hey, which car would you want in real life, it would be the Porsche, hands down, a million times over. But diecast-wise, I think this is just as impressive. So that's my opinion. Now I'm sticking to it. All right, so next up, and lastly, we have Tomica Limited Vintage Dino 246 GT Type M. Okay, so this car is great. You guys know these Tomica Limited Vintage. They are packaged like you would get like an expensive cologne, or a either expensive cologne or like a watch. It's kind of what the packaging reminds me of. And not like I'm a guy that buys a lot of expensive cologne or watches. I don't wear watches. And then it comes with this card on the inside here. And you guys have probably all seen all this, but it's got foil printing on it. It is elaborately done. I guess maybe somewhat unnecessarily, because I'm not a packaging guy. And then it's got this plastic thing over the top of the car. Then a plastic thing right here. It's got a little baggie that's got the side mirrors that you can apply yourself. Really not a fan of this, to be honest, to be quite honest. And here's a little instruction. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Not going to do that. I will just leave the side mirrors off. They will stay in this box. I'm never going to do that with a Kyosho, I don't think, unless it's something that looks like it'd be so easy to do. These look like they'd be just a pain in the butt to apply. There is no guide on the car as to where these would go, and I don't think I'd ever attempt it on one of these. It just seems crazy to me that they would even do that. I just wish they wouldn't even do that. I wish they wouldn't even include that kind of stuff. And then it's got like a little plastic thing holding the car in, and then the car itself. All right, so let's take a look at the car. Here it is, the Dino. It's got suspension. The F40 in this series does not have suspension, by the by, but this one does. And of course, it's got all the detail you would expect from Tomica Limited Vintage. Taillights. I took some really nice pictures of this. I did post it to my Instagram, so check those out if you are inclined to see more of this. It's got the covered headlights in the front. I really want to get the other one too. I actually like the look of the non-covered headlights a little bit better. It also has an opening feature in the back, which is not something Tomica Limited Vintage always does, but for these Ferraris, they all got them. And then you can see that motor in the back, which is pretty awesome. It doesn't stay open. You have to hold it open, so that makes it kind of more difficult to take pictures of, but very cool nonetheless. I do want to get the other version of this. The other version is pretty awesome, mainly because it's like a convertible, and it comes default with the top off, and it comes with that. The top is actually in the little baggie, right? It's in a little baggie with the top. It might come with side mirrors too, actually, that I wouldn't put on. But the top, I would probably leave off of it because you could see the interior better. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom in here. Sorry for the shaky camera work. Because you can really see the interior of it, and the interior of it looks quite detailed, and I think it looks even more detailed on the version that you can see it on. So I still want that other car. Unfortunately, if you really want it right now on eBay, you're going to be shelling out at least $50 for it, if not a little bit more. I believe that's what they're still going for, and I don't think that price is honestly going to go down. The F40s as well. If you want an F40 Tomica Limited Vintage, you got to get it now. I mean, that price on that thing is not going anywhere south. It's going to go up and up and up and up. I just don't see it going down. Now, could you maybe wait on it for a while and find a good deal from somebody who has one that you know that's like, oh, hey, I know you really want this. I'll sell you this for cheap. Maybe. It's possible. But I just don't see it going anywhere down, and I don't see it going anywhere down with these anyway. Now I liken that to, if you take a look up the Porsches, like look up a Tomica Limited Vintage Porsche and try to get that cheap. Go for it, try to get it. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, and that's a casting I want too. So hopefully they put out another one, and it's available for pre-order on Japan Booster, because that is the way to go with these Tomica Limited Vintages. The cheapest you're gonna get them. I should say the least expensive you're gonna get them. They're still not gonna be cheap. All right, so anyway, that's good. That's me talking about that. Yeah, that's about it. So let me know what your favorite car of the video was. I gotta say that even though it's not premium diecast and it's not really what my focus has been as of late, this Super Treasure Hunt looks fantastic, and it felt fantastic to find it. So I do appreciate that, and it's nice to be able to actually get something really cool in a store. Again, thanks for the trade, Wade, Fordsman 84. Really appreciate you checking that one off my list and completing that set for me. The Kyoshos are absolutely fantastic. Of course, thanks Travis for the Dino, the Ferrari Dino. The Kyoshos are just really, really cool. Just a couple of cool ones there. I've got a couple other cool things coming in the mail. We'll see what happens when they get here. One other thing from Japan, so Tomica Limited Vintage I'm excited about. And yeah, I've got some other neat things in the works, including that MASCAR case video, which I am really excited to get that done, and then I'm really excited to revamp my room, and it's crazy. It's going to look really cool, and now I just got to decide where to put everything. I'm actually going to move, I believe, all my Auto World cars are going to leave my Carney cases, and they're going to go in MASCAR cases. Why? Why would I do that? Well, I have these really nice mirrored back Carney cases, but the thing is like, really? The angled one, and maybe I shouldn't get into this now, but if you're still listening, the angled one does fit the larger castings, but not quite. The door doesn't shut all the way on them, and it looks way too busy when you have large castings in it. When you have shorter models in it that don't take up the whole angled space, the angled Carney looks really good, looks fantastic. But if you have really long cars and you have a bunch of them in the case, it kind of looks cluttered almost. Like you can't really see the cars because the other cars blocking, the cars block each other basically. In the side compartment, whatever the ones that look like a normal car case where you just view the car from the side, like that, right? Not all the auto road castings fit in there. So that kind of stinks because they don't all fit. Like the Cadillacs don't fit. Some of the larger wagons and stuff do not fit. So there's no way for me to display them all together. Like as a series, I can't do it because if they have a big casting in the series, I can't do it. So the only way to do it is with these NASCAR cases that are going to be really cool because I'm going to be able to display them any way I want to because all the castings fit. All right, so anyway, that's going to be cool. So stay tuned for that. And that's going to be it for this video. So thanks for watching another Diecast Weekly episode. I really appreciate all the support from my channel. Again, you can go to mascardisplays.com, use the promo code CHAMPION. You will receive 10% off your order. And yes, I will get a little kickback from it. And that does support my channel. I do appreciate it. And yeah, and of course, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day.